I remember I wasn't too confident when Sean Woods hit that shot and there was a timeout. But what an amazing game. And Kentucky played great. Duke played great. One of the truly iconic games in the history of basketball, not just college basketball, but basketball.
Ingram at the line to make them both to get the deficit down to 9. What has Kentucky done well in the first 5 minutes of this half?
Well, they've done a really good job defensively. They've turned Duke over and they've scored on the other end of it. I think they need to continue to drive the ball. It's a little bit of a bigger lineup right now for Kentucky. Derek Willis into the ball game. He's more a shooter than a driver. Look at the size difference between Ulis and Brandon Ingram.
Ulis baseline. Threads the needle inside to Labissiere.
Kentucky is just driving past Duke. They cannot stay in front. That's putting them into rotation. Kentucky taking advantage of it.
What's the ceiling this year as a collegiate for Tyler Ulis? How good can he be this year?
Well, I mean, he's right up there with the best point guards in the country. A number of people, a number of our guys, Sean Farnham, others happen to think that Tyler Ulis is the best point guard in the country. And reasonable minds can differ. I happen to think it's Chris Dunn of Providence, but it's a close call.
Labissiere the miss, and Plumlee down with a rebound. Lee with a reach-in foul. It's just such a different situation for Ulis because of the platoon system last year. He was kind of an 18 to 20-minute guy. You would come in for 4, you would come out for 4. I mean, more often than not, even with Murray out there, the ball is in the hands of Ulis right now.
And it should be. I mean, these other guys, Isaiah Briscoe and Jamal Murray, those guys are point guards. But he's a floor leader, a floor general. And the ball should be in his hands because he'll find the right spot for it. He's an excellent defender. Puts great pressure on the ball, forces you to start a little bit further out, forces you to turn your back. And look where Duke's having to catch the ball to initiate their offense.
Kennard with a crossover on Willis and will draw the foul.
Good drive, went right into the body of Derek Willis to draw that foul.
And a couple of free throws coming for Luke Kennard, freshman from Franklin, Ohio. McDonald's All-American and the 2015 Parade National Player of the Year. 10 points per game in the first 2 games of the season for the Blue Devils.
Since early on in the game, Dan, Kentucky's done a much better job of rebounding. They haven't done a great job, but much better. And Duke has had a hard time finding scores off their initial offense. They haven't gotten much in transition, and they haven't gotten much in their half-court offense. You take away their second shots, and this is a totally different ball game for Kentucky.
Duke has it down to 9. You saw Grayson Allen, who remains on the bench. He is scoreless in this game after he picked up a foul early this second half. Just a second foul, but Mike Krzyzewski took him out and has had him out for about the last 4 minutes. Duke fans trying to make some noise. Great play. Ulis baseline puts the brakes on, can't finish. And Poitras is there to help him out.
Boy, that was a great read by Tyler Ulis. First to get open, read the defense, faded back, caught it, then drove the ball. Now he missed that shot. Brandon Ingram, a big reason why with those long arms, but that opened up the offensive glass.
Kennard in and out on the 3. That rebound for Poitras moments ago was the 15th offensive rebound for Kentucky in this game.
They have been all over the glass. They haven't finished the same way Duke was finishing early. But that's going to have a cumulative effect.
Murray back to Ulis. 10 on the shot clock.
Now they're running Ulis around like a 2-guard.
He's going to have to make something happen here with 3 to shoot. Forces up the 3. And Plumlee is fouled by Labissiere. That will be the 3rd on Skal Labissiere.
It's not a smart play by Labissiere because Plumlee had him blocked out. You give a lot of credit for the effort, but it wasn't the most intelligent effort because there was a very low likelihood he was going to be able to get the ball and wound up picking up his 3rd foul.
Grayson Allen has returned now for Duke. Checking back into the game, played sparingly in the first half for Kentucky is Charles Matthews, a 6'6" freshman from Chicago. Duke and Kentucky with the top 2 ranked recruiting classes coming into this season. And Jay, they're 1 and 2 for next year's class as well right now.
Duke with the #1 ranked and #2 ranked players in the country. That's never happened before in a recruiting class with Jason Tatum and Harry Giles.
Derek Thornton with the floater, and Kentucky just getting a commitment today from Bam Adebayo.
Bam Adebayo, Paul Biancardi, who along with Reggie Rankin do a terrific job with ESPN recruiting and Recruiting Nation. He likens him to an Antonio McDyess player.
Poitras fouled from behind by Thornton.
There is a lot of time left in this game. It's a 9-point game with a couple of free throws coming up. But there is plenty of time left in this one. Duke and Kentucky 1-2 every year of late. John Calipari's never had a recruiting class since he got there in 2010. Never had a recruiting class ranked lower than number 2.
And Tom Izzo, you saw that Michigan State ranked 3rd on the ESPN 100 for next season. Tom Izzo says that that's the best class that he's ever had coming in.
Well, he's done a great job recruiting too.
Yeah. You see how Matt Cunningham went for the clear shot over the bald and nearly bald heads?
Yeah, was that necessary?
Just, yeah. Bald is endlessly funny, but bald never gets unfunny to Doug Holmes in the game.
Bald is beautiful.
It is. They just wish they could do it.
Who loves you, baby?
Here comes Isaac Humphries back into the game now for Labissiere. Labissiere picking up his 3rd foul.
Boy, what a nice rotation that Kentucky's going to have with Humphries and Labissiere. Both of them very skilled. And both of them can knock down a perimeter jumper, so you can play pick and pop with them. And if you decide you're going to down a ball screen, you can throw back, reverse it, and they can set a little pin down for you. They have a chance to be very, very good together.
You wouldn't guess it by looking at Humphries, this big bruising 7-footer, 270 pounds. He went to a performing arts high school in Australia as Allen finally gets on the board. Humphries is a singer and a piano player. Right now on the court, he's giving John Calipari some good minutes in the front court.
Well, that's one thing that John Calipari did not want to happen. That was a catch and shoot opportunity.
Murray leaves it short. Poitras doing the kind of things that John Calipari wants him to do. Just going and being an athlete. And he earns a tie-up. The arrow will give it to Duke, but a great effort there by Poitras. Timeout on the floor. 53-45. Kentucky leading Duke. In this great event, 5th year of this event. Next year, it'll be in New York City. It was in Indianapolis last year. Full house no matter where they play this event. And you can understand why with these 4 great programs. Transition points, a huge, huge story in this game.
Well, Kentucky has been dominant in transition. But Duke's starting to play with a little more vigor.
Thornton missed a good look from beyond the arc and down with a 2-handed rebound, Jamal Murray.
And not been much on the offensive glass after that initial flurry by Duke. It's been Kentucky that's been all over the glass for second shots on their offensive end.
And Briscoe's still wearing out one corner of that mouth guard. It still has not been in his mouth.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Murray gets the switch, runs into the midsection of Plumlee, keeps the dribble alive, finds Ulis in the corner. Poitras had it knocked away, but Murray is there to clean it up.
Well, Murray picks it up and got it off the glass so quickly. And John Calipari's talked about Alex Poitras playing like an elite athlete, and he has done that on the glass.
Thornton bothered by Briscoe, and another run out for Kentucky. Murray behind the back, and boy, is John Calipari unhappy with that.
Well, he should be. Not a smart play, and he had an opportunity to get another transition bucket, maybe a foul, a bucket, or both.
And he was looking to the bench as if he were going to take Murray out, but has not sent anybody to the scorer's table yet. Allen had to adjust in midair, and a foul on Briscoe.
Murray is such a good player, and he has a great ability to seek out contact and finish through contact. And on that last play, he just took the easy way out of throwing it behind his back instead of seeking out that contact and getting fouled.
Briscoe limping ever so slightly as he heads to the bench. He did not play in the opener of the season for Kentucky because of a bruised knee. And there's Allen called for the foul. Great defense by Tyler Ulis.
Ulis stayed right with him, maintained that guarding position, and that left arm for Grayson Allen came out just a bit and knocked him off balance. It was a an offensive foul call and a good one, but give credit to Tyler Ulis. That was outstanding individual defense on the ball.
And you can see Briscoe getting some work done right there, lying in front of the bench for Kentucky right now. Murray. Rebound out.
Forced him to take a really tough shot. Now he can make that, but the percentages are lower.
Kennard. And a foul underneath, away from the ball, going on Kentucky. So this doesn't, hard to speculate.
It looked like you at shoot around today, getting your daily massage.
Yeah, well, you don't just roll out of bed and do this job, Jay.
An elite athlete. Yeah, we want you to broadcast like an elite athlete, Dan.
10-point lead for Kentucky, and Briscoe looks to be okay, maybe just a cramp. Ingram trying to inbound it for Duke, and Murray steals it.
Just throwing it up for grabs.
And numbers again for Kentucky. Murray, yes.
Now that's why Jamal Murray should not throw the ball behind his back, because he can do that.
He's got 13 now to lead Kentucky.
And that was all set up by Ingram's pass, who just threw it up for grabs. Couldn't get it in there. After the initial action on the out-of-bounds play, there wasn't a sense of urgency to get the ball in. He just threw it up for grabs.
Jones cradles it high off the glass and will shoot a couple.
You don't often see Duke sloppy on their out-of-bounds plays, and you know, you'd rather get a 5-second call, because at least then you can set your defense and play 5-on-5. You throw that thing up for grabs against a team that has dominated in transition, and you're giving up a layup on the other end. And if he missed that, that was going to be a tip-in by Alex Poitras.
Duke's turned it over 11 times. Kentucky's turned those turnovers into 13 points. Fourth foul on Skal Labissiere, who has played well in spurts tonight, but has been limited because of the foul trouble, and he's going to head back to the bench again.
Well, Labissiere can be a little bit more physical. That's the next step for him, is getting a little bit stronger, because he is very, very skilled and very athletic. I think he needs to have a hit-first mentality.
He'll sit Lee back into the game.
Marcus Lee's been the difference maker in this one. Yep. Got a double-double. He's been all over the place.
They don't lose anything in terms of length or athleticism when a guy like Lee comes in for Labissiere.
And they've got a nice rotation of big guys. You know, having Alex Poitras back is really big for Kentucky. To have his experience.
And away from the ball, a call going against Duke.
Derek Thornton grabbed Tyler Ulis coming off that screen.
Tonight, after the Champions Classic, stick around for Sports Center at night, if for no other reason than to see John Buccigross make that smile, give you that face during Sports Center tonight. And then they'll be followed by Neil and Nicole on the West Coast. Sports Center at night tonight on ESPN and streaming live on Watch ESPN. That is a fun show with John and John.
You know, little known fact, John Buccigross was my roommate on a golf trip, and he irons his golf clothes.
You know what? That is a little known fact.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Can he play?
He's a really good golfer.
The lead continues to grow for Kentucky. Ulis into double figures now. And in addition to the 10 points, Jay, how about 6 assists and no turnovers and some really good defense?
Tyler Ulis has been great. Now, he didn't play particularly well the first 2 games for Kentucky. He hasn't shot the ball well. You know, in Kentucky's first 2, they turned the ball over, weren't in as good a sync, but they have not turned it over in this one. And they have played incredibly hard.
Just 6 turnovers in 31 minutes.
Putting a little pressure on Marcus Lee at the point of that pressure with that length and his ability to move his feet.
Thornton off to Jones. He'll launch a 3 and hit it. His 3rd of the night.
Well, Charles Matthews thought he was there. Now in high school that would have been good enough. But a guy like Matt Jones, you've got to make him put the ball on the floor, because if you let him get into a catch and shoot motion, he's going to make that. He is a good catch and shoot jump shooter.
He's got 16 tonight. He scored 29 in the first 2 games of the season for Duke, and he is another guy stepping into a larger role than he had last year.
Yeah, he has showed tremendous fight in this game. The freshmen have had difficulty showing that fight, but not Matt Jones.
Allen gets clobbered. All 3 officials blowing the whistle at once. Marcus Lee his fourth.
Well, Kentucky has been outstanding in this game, and it's a 10-point game, but Duke is just a couple of threes away from putting some real game pressure on Kentucky. Grayson Allen going after that with both hands, gets knocked to the floor by Marcus Lee. If Duke knocks down a couple free throws, gets a stop, makes a three, the tenor of this game will change if they can do that. Now it's up to Kentucky to stop that with this lead.
You saw Labissiere's got 4, Lee's got 4. Lee's going to stay in the game right now. And Allen at the free throw line for Duke. Just not having the kind of night that he enjoyed in the first 2 games of the season. Although again, the level of competition is much higher to him, obviously.
Well, he has really struggled, but you give credit to the defense of Kentucky. They've been terrific on him.
How good has Tyler Ulis been tonight?
You can't speed him up. Like, he's going to go at his pace, and there's really nothing you can do about it. He's been terrific.
He is keeping Duke at arm's length right now. Ingram leaned that shoulder in and gets called for the foul, his 4th. Frustration right now for Duke, and a lot of emotion here in this early season matchup of college basketball powerhouses. Kentucky and Duke giving everything they have here at the United Center, and right now it's the Wildcats enjoying a 12-point lead.
Pulled them aside during shoot-around and said, hey, listen, I know what you guys are going through. I know how tough Coach Cal can be on you guys, but he loves you and he's doing it for a reason. I think that's pretty good advice. What do you guys think?
Well, he's certainly got a track record of putting people into the NBA, and that's something that will definitely appeal to so many of the players on this Kentucky team. A ton of success, both at Memphis and even more so, obviously, in now 5+ years in Lexington. They've got a 12-point lead on Duke here in the first game of the State Farm Champions Classic with Michigan State and Kansas still to come tonight from Chicago.
And Duke got a little bit of chance to put a run together, and Kentucky just thwarted it. Now they've got the Wildcats have a chance to stretch this lead out. Okay, Grayson Allen, Brandon Ingram combined 2 of 16 from the field. Not going to win doing that.
Shot clock down to 7. Murray trying to use the screen from Lee. Splits the defense, floats it up, and Poitras slams it home.
Are you kidding? That's great coaching. You think John Calipari's staff spent a lot of time teaching Jamal Murray that move?
5th assist of the night for Murray. Jones short on the 3. Murray with the rebound, and he's pushing it.
Another breakout.
Ulis. Another lob. Oh, boy. I don't know if anybody in America could have finished that, but Marcus Lee came close. Nice crossover by Thornton. And Emil Jefferson with a putback.
Kentucky a chance to stretch that lead out. Duke winds up getting the layup. One of the few poor decisions trying to throw that lob. What a play by Jamal Murray the last time down the floor.
Murray with 13 points and 5 assists in the game.
This is an unbelievable piece of ball handling to split that trap off the ball screen.
Behind the back.
Goes behind the back, and then the lob as you help up. Oh, what a great play.
If you would team with the guys like Poitras and Lee and Labissiere, I mean, you throw it up to the rim more often than not, somebody's going to go get it.
That's Duke's first fast break basket of the game. First of the game.
And it brings them back within 10. There is still time left, 6 minutes of the game.
Well, with the way Duke can shoot it, there is plenty of time left.
Briscoe fouled by Allen.
Briscoe added a little bit when he made contact with Marshall Plumlee. These guys need to keep their composure. Roger Ayers going to talk to Briscoe about it.
Got the mouth guard in now. Oh, no, he doesn't. Never mind. Now he does.
There it is. That's the first time.
Because, you know,
it has been in the whole... Yeah.
And the free throw line's a dangerous place.
Exactly. You got to watch yourself as the free throw shooter because somebody's coming to get you.
Shannon, if you talk to Briscoe after the game, we need to know. He's got some toughness in him, though, doesn't he?
He's a player now. This whole backcourt in Kentucky, I'm not sure there's a better backcourt, and there's certainly not one that's better off the dribble.
One shot, straight in. One.
Two freshmen, Briscoe and Murray, and the sophomore Eulis. And all three of them are in double figures tonight for Kentucky. Plumlee down with another rebound.
Lee got his arm caught. Plumlee might have been hanging on to it with his right arm, but that was not where Marcus Lee wanted to be. That was a bad mistake.
That's going to end his night.
Yeah, that's a bad mistake to put yourself in that position. There's just no reason to go for that ball, and you let Duke walk 90 feet down to the other end and put 2 free throws up without any defense on you, and to lose a player that has played maybe his best game in a Kentucky uniform.
So Lee fouls out, and they are working on Briscoe again. He has gone to the bench with what we were told was a calf cramp. Plumlee misses the front end for the offensive rebound for Jefferson.
And again, no block out by Kentucky. It's not physical.
Thornton slipped. Plumlee.
What a great move.
He's having himself a night. He's got a career high already in rebounds and blocks, and he's 1 point away from tying his career high in points.
How about his parents after having Miles Plumlee, Mason Plumlee, now Marshall Plumlee? I think they've attended more Duke games than anyone.
This is the 8th and final year that at least one Plumlee will play for Duke. 5th-year senior Marshall Plumlee.
I think the last time there wasn't a Plumlee on the lineup was 1966 when Bob Verga and Jack Marin were playing.
Let's go to Shannon.
Yeah, Dan, you can see Isaiah Briscoe. He's in a significant amount of pain over there on the bench. It really looks like they've been trying to work out a quad cramp. I was even watching him when he was up on the free throw line. You could really see that he was fighting through some discomfort and favoring that left leg.
All right, Shannon, thank you. Plumlee misses them both. As they continue to work on Briscoe, he's had a very effective night for Kentucky.
Thought there was a lane violation, get another free throw.
Plumlee knocks down the second now with a timeout called by Mike Krzyzewski. With a 10-point deficit, 5:34 to go in the second half here in game number 1 at the State Farm Champions Classic.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is
Mark Gross and Lee Fitting, 2 of our bosses at ESPN. This is Jay Billis's top 4 right now. You got Oklahoma in the 4th spot,
which means it's the absolute gospel. I think Alabama's the best team in the country. Clemson number 2, Ohio State, and then I've got Oklahoma in the number 4 spot. Baker Mayfield has been phenomenal. Now, when they had over Baylor, I think put them in there, and I think they're going to stay there. I think this is going to be the 4 we're going to see at the end of the year. Take that, Herb Street.
We'll find out what the committee says. Not long from now, between this game and the Kansas-Michigan State game tonight here in Chicago. 10-point lead, Kentucky, less than 5.5 to go. But Marcus Lee has fouled out. Isaiah Briscoe's getting a cramp worked on the bench.
This is an important possession for Kentucky. They need a score here.
Eulis throws it up and in. 14 for Eulis.
How about that? And Duke had to feel like they've got an opening here. You know, Briscoe's getting worked on the sideline. You got Marcus Lee having fouled out.
Allen, that's the shot he has not been able to hit tonight. This time, though, he did draw a foul.
I think they got Labissiere, and that's it for him, right? That's 4, so that makes it 5. He just brought that arm down, a little bit of contact, and that's going to end it for him.
That'll bring Humphreys back into the game. So Lee and Labissiere both fouling out tonight for Kentucky.
And running out of big bodies. Just got to go straight up. Bringing that arm down and just making a tad bit of contact. I mean, there's not much there, but
two of the big men have fouled out for Kentucky. Humphries and Poitras both in the game with 3 right now. Another missed free throw. Allen having a tough night. Allen came in averaging 27. Ingram came in averaging 18. Now look at these numbers.
yeah, Kentucky is just throwing a blanket over these two. The one thing the Wildcats do not want to do as this clock gets toward 3 zeros, they don't want to put Duke on the free throw line, and they don't want to give them open catch and shoot threes.
Duke just 12 for 21 from the free throw line. Murray wide open. Count.
You give him time to set his feet. That was just way too easy. Miscommunication on that screen by Duke. Murray was wide open. You don't get that much time to shoot in a horse game, and he's not missing that.
16 for Jamal Murray. A lot of traffic here for Thornton, and it's Kentucky ball.
You spin, the ball's gone. Just a poor decision by Derek Thornton, the freshman. He reclassed. He should be a high school senior, as should Jamal Murray.
Ulis stops on a dime and finishes. What a night for Ulis.
I'll tell you what, people say he's not big enough. If you're good enough, you're big enough, and he's good enough. What a terrific player Tyler Ulis is.
Big Blue Nation on its feet in many parts of the United Center right now. Plumlee almost lost it. Now he drives, has it blocked. Jefferson there. A 14-point lead, though, still for Kentucky with 3:38 to go. Duke had some moments in the second half where they looked like they were right on the verge of a run, just couldn't get over the hump.
Well, Kentucky answered it every time.
And a Duke foul underneath to send us to a timeout.
Tyler Ulis, the sophomore from here in Chicago, has just controlled this game. Ball screen getting down, he splits it, stops, gathers himself, and shoots over a bigger defender. Terrific, just terrific.
Chicago, Indianapolis, New York, all 4 schools well represented in the stands.
Oh, these four fan bases show up, and they're loud. Hey, Kansas has terrific depth. It's a really good basketball team, and it has a chance to be the best team out of this whole group.
What about a thought on Shek Diallo and what eventually may or may not happen with his eligibility?
I'm really surprised. You know, I'm a believer in rules, but I think it's ridiculous the way Shek Diallo has been treated. He needs to be cleared and cleared right away. He's a good student. He's proven it. And the idea that the NCAA is going back to his 6th grade courses in Mali is absurd and is embarrassing.
A freshman, 6'9", very talented, and would make a deep Kansas front court that much deeper. 2 deep teams, actually, the Jayhawks and the Spartans, and more experienced than both of these teams. Not as many freshmen.
What a great rebound by Emil Jefferson.
Jefferson's got 14 rebounds now in the game. Poitras called for the foul. That's his 4th. And look at some of the areas where Kentucky has dominated tonight. In the paint, off turnovers, fast break points. I mean, in the first 4 or 5 minutes, it was the Marshall Plumlee offensive rebound and putback show. And ever since then, Kentucky has just been off to the races whenever they've picked up a loose ball or got a steal or a long rebound.
Well, those offensive rebounds from both Emil Jefferson and Marshall Plumlee kept Duke in it.
Yep.
Otherwise, they'd be getting completely blown out of this game. And John Calipari was talking to his team at the shoot-around. He didn't believe that Duke could guard them off the dribble and told his team so. Now, maybe Duke can, but they haven't. And everything that John Calipari told his team has come true, and they've done. Now, the one area where Kentucky can get a lot better, you know, this team can get much more physical. I think they can get better on screens. They really don't hit bodies on screens and don't come to a stop. They need to get body contact on screens, and they can be much more physical and much better on the glass as a team.
They always will have multiple ball handlers in the game. Ulis and Murray right now. Tipped out of bounds by Thornton, 9 to shoot. they figure to be a hard team to make a comeback against because of the ball handling, good free throw shooters, that sort of thing.
And when they move the ball from side to side and move the defense and then attack off the dribble, there aren't a lot of defenders that can stay in front. And there certainly aren't teams that have 3 guys that can stay in front of their matchup. So they're going to put you into rotation. And if they put you into rotation, it's going to be difficult. If they put you into scramble, you're done.
College football's top 25 ranking show coming up between games tonight. Then Kansas and Michigan State, as Ulis comes up with a steal to just offset the turnover he committed at the other end.
What a play by Tyler Ulis. Grayson Allen got past him and he retreated to take the pass away.
He's something else.
He really is. What a great college play. And I think he's going to be an NBA. He's playing in the NBA.
And he's played every minute of this game here.
I wouldn't take him out.
Matthews getting some run now with Briscoe on the bench. Murray with a shot clock running down. Has his pocket picked by Jones. And Jefferson running the floor and laying it in. Still an 11-point deficit, under 2 minutes to go.
Well, Kentucky's certainly not trying to stall, but they do want to use clock. And John Calipari was trying to call a timeout. He can't do that anymore. The players have to do it.
And one of the new rules this year, coaches cannot call live ball timeouts. A minute 47 to go. And an 11-point lead for Kentucky as we send it back to the studio for an update with Chris Connor.
All right, guys, just want to update you on Maryland and Georgetown. Right now on ESPN News, although it's moving over to ESPN2 here in a minute. That's Rashid Suleiman right there, feeding Michael Tchaikovsky with the bucket. Close game, Maryland on top by 3 over on ESPN2.
Chris, thank you. Great action, really, from last night. The tip-off marathon going all through the night, through the morning, and now culminating with a number of games this evening, including Kentucky, Duke, and Kansas, Michigan State here tonight.
Well, Tyler Ulis in so many ways has controlled this game. He's controlled the ball offensively, but you can see when Isaac Humphrey steps up after Grayson Allen got past Ulis, Ulis just drops back in anticipation to steal that ball. A little pocket pass. That's a big-time play defensively by Tyler Ulis.
Briscoe back into the game for Kentucky. Ulis inside, no. And a foul going against Duke.
Looked like they got Chase Jeter on the foul. But there's Ulis, the smallest man on the floor, seeking out the body of a bigger defender and drawing the foul to get to the free throw line.
Ulis was born in Lima, Ohio, but he calls Chicago home. He moved to Chicago in his sophomore year of high school, played at Marian Catholic, and has a lot of friends and family in the house here tonight.
One of the things he's doing so much better than he did last year is using a little runner, floater in the lane. He's always under control. He's got a great demeanor on the court. His leadership is invaluable.
The 3 guards, Ulis, Murray, and Briscoe, have 46 points, 18, 16, and 12 for Kentucky. Thornton doesn't get the bounce. Jefferson having a big, big night. That's his 15th rebound and his 16th point.
That's 3 double-doubles in a row for Emil Jefferson. What a hard worker he is, and he's an outstanding defender. His ability to guard ball screens and also to guard in the post.
Mike Krzyzewski's got to be happy with the way some of the upperclassmen have played tonight. And not only Jones and Jefferson, but the kids have not been as good as some of the kids for Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to be happy with much. Terrible pass. No angle at all. He's leading Chase Jeter essentially out of bounds, even if he caught it. And that's just a youthful mistake.
So Duke will suffer its first defeat of the season. They'll drop to 2-1. A look at some of the other games out of conference games coming up for Duke, including a potential matchup with Wisconsin on Sunday. Also in the ACC Big Ten, they'll play Indiana, and then a neutral court matchup with Utah. That game's in New York City on the 19th of December.
One of the great things about the Champions Classic is you learn where your weaknesses are. And Duke has learned a lot of where its weaknesses are, and Kentucky exposed quite a few of them.
Jeter with a rejection.
Some of Kentucky's have been exposed too, but this is going to be a really good team.
And a shot clock violation against the Cats with just 14 seconds to play. For John Calipari, the Cats will go to 3-0, pick up a win over the 5th-ranked team in the nation. Thornton. Jefferson trying to gather, it's still loose. And that's going to be all. Kentucky with an 11-point win over Duke, led by Tyler Eulis, as the Wildcats beat the Blue Devils 74-63 in the first game tonight here in Chicago. Eulis leading the way with 18 points and 6 assists. A very good effort by the Wildcats tonight.
Kentucky's guards dominated the game. Their transition ability, they guarded pretty well, and after an initial flurry by Duke on the glass, Kentucky got a lot tougher. It was Kentucky blue all game long.
They had 17 offensive rebounds. They had 18 fast break points to just 4 for Duke. They capitalized on Duke turnovers. They really took advantage of what Duke gave them. Kansas, they're chomping at the bit. The Jayhawks want to get going as they get ready to take on Michigan State in the second game here tonight. But first, we've got to hear from Shannon Spake. She's got Tyler Eulis and Jamal Murray.
Well, I'm sure this is a very satisfying moment, especially for the hometown boy. You know, you come in, have a performance like this. How responsible did you feel to come in here and set the example for the younger guys on this team tonight?
Very responsible, being here last year and just, having so much experience. I just had to come try to lead these guys. Jamal did a great job handling the pressure. We had guys in foul trouble. I like how Isaac stepped up. Alex played like he did before he had the injury, and I felt like we came together as a team.
You're starting to sound a little bit like Coach Calipari.
I wouldn't say all that.
All right, for you, obviously a great night for you. Coach talked a lot about lessons. Tonight would be a big lesson night. What do you think you guys learned in this game this evening?
All right, we learned that we can get it done as a team, and everybody does the role and their part. We're able to get the win against any team in the league. So we did our thing tonight, and excited to have more games.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.